I was deathly ill. I explanted 5 years ago. A lot of toxins, metals, and mold in my body, and you need advice on detoxing. So this is exactly why we're doing this webinar, because it's the most frustrating thing for me is when I hear people say, who's the doctor that you use? And then it stops there. But then there isn't a second question to that. And Jennifer says, Explant only removes the source. There is much detoxing and internal healing needed for total health. You totally nailed it, girlfriend. All of the toxins that are around us right now, and I mean, we already, women with breast implants, we have these arsonists, and then now we have the COVID arsonist that's starting more fires of inflammation, whether it's somebody who has gotten the jab, or if we're around people who have been vaccinated and are experiencing some of the offset of that. Wherever you guys are, whatever your beliefs are on this, it is an additional toxin that our body now needs to do something with. So we're surrounded by toxins more than we ever have. And today I want to talk about, the myth is that I'm going to remove all my breast implants and all of my symptoms are going to go away. Now, what we know about it is that 70% of symptoms tend to resolve post-explant. So what about the other 30%? Sometimes the 70%, they resolve after explant, and they're surveying these women, but it's only within a month or so after their explant. And they still have the positive side effects of taking antibiotics. Your body gets sprayed with all kinds of antibiotics in your chest cavity, and we take them orally before and after. So your body's feeling pretty good. Those antibiotics work to reduce inflammation, to reduce the amount of bugs in your body that spit out inflammation. And so we're feeling pretty good for a while, and then a couple months goes by and things start coming back, and women get really angry. They're like, I knew it. I was so scared to remove my breast implants because I was worried that it wouldn't resolve my symptoms, and now look, they're back. And now she's mad at herself. Now she's more flat than before. And now she's wondering why she spent 10 to 20 grand to get them out.
You're listening to Cleanse, Heal, Ignite podcast, and I'm your hostess, Diane Kaiser, functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner, former pro soccer player, transformational leader, holistic healer, and life purpose coach, helping you and your business awaken to your full potential. We are a transformation tribe of visionaries empowering passion-quenching, heart-centered advice to wellness warrior leaders on self-love, nutrition, mindset, and divorcing perfectionism. Our mission is to help you laugh your way to a sexy belly, love your way to vitality, and live your life with purpose by sharing real talk and truth drops that will help you cleanse your body, heal your hormones, and ignite your life. Side effects of this podcast may include all-day energy, happy hormones, perfect poops, increased confidence, becoming your own best healer, and catching the self-love virus. There's currently no vaccination to protect you from this, and no known cure. In most cases, listeners experience a strong desire to accept new challenges, ditch toxic people, follow their heart, and dance like no one's watching. If you experience moods happier than usual, live it unapologetically, and share with your social media friends immediately.
Ladies, thank you so much for being here today. Anna and I have got a lot of really great things we put together for you. And I'm always thinking about this breast implant illness community and how to help women who have been, I use the word victim very, very mindfully, who have become a victim of this toxic beauty culture that we were raised into, we're brought into, and we've been conditioned by. We are all victims of even how Anna had just, replied to my compliment to her looking beautiful. We've all been taught to deflect it and to not receive it because we don't believe it oftentimes. Part of us doesn't anyway. I do believe that a big part of you does believe that you're beautiful, but unfortunately that has been suppressed by this world that profits from our feeling less than and low self-worth. And if you guys have heard any of my work, I am the founder of the Chi Holistic Health Institute, which stands for Cleanse Your Body, Heal Your Trauma, which is all the different kinds of trauma, and then ignite your courage and your inner purpose, the courage to really follow your passion and purposes to the dreams that you have for your life. And it's really hard to do that when we feel like shit. We're going to talk about what shit means today, what shit stands for. So if you have any children around, and if you guys don't use the word mierda, as you guys say in Costa Rica, Anna, means shit in Spanish. we're going to talk about that analogy. You know, what shit stands for. It actually stands for something, and you will never forget it. I promise you. So we're going to talk about a lot of things today. And if you guys receive the invitation, you have an idea of what we're going to cover. But ultimately, I really want to give you guys a ton of freebies today. There's going to be over $500 of gifts today. And you guys are only the people who showed up live are going to get a couple things. And then people who are going to get the replay later will have the opportunity to get things. But you guys are going to be able to ask questions on here. And if you know Zoom, there's a little Q&A section on the side. If you can see that, that's the best place to ask questions. But I'm going to be navigating both the chat box and the Q&A. But like I said, if you want us to have time for questions today, we're probably going to end around 4:30. So if you want to start asking some of the questions anytime during this, I will find a good time for us to get to them. And if we haven't gotten to them throughout the first, 45 minutes, then I'll get to them toward the end. But if you guys have heard of me, I'm going to allow Anna to introduce herself as well. And then we want to get to a lot of your guys' questions and where you're at in the journey. I'd love to hear in the chat, what is your full name? Because sometimes the names on here, it'll just say like L. And I'm like, what does L stand for? So it might mean that you're Lorraine. And then I want to know your name and to address you accordingly. So let us know where you are on your explant journey. What's your name? Where do you live? And where are you on your explant journey? Are you just learning about breast implant illness and you're not sure what to do next? Or are you on that part of your journey where you know that you have breast implant illness, or you really feel that you have breast implant illness and you definitely want to explant, or maybe you are wondering if you should explant and you're on the next steps, like what do I do after that? Or you're like, you know what, I'm solid and I'm getting ready to explant in a few weeks or a few months. So we can support you along that journey. Or are you somebody who just recently explanted and you're in bed right now watching us while you're recovering? Or are you somebody who's like, you know what, I've done my explant 3 months ago or 6 months ago or a year ago, and I'm still not feeling my best. So let us know. We want to hear, so that every single answer and every little bit of contribution we have for all of you ladies will be as personalized as possible, because Anna and I really enjoy helping each other. And how this whole thing happened, for me, is about 5 years ago. Anna had written an article that many of you may have seen on if you're part of the Facebook group, The Ticking Time Bomb, you guys probably seen her article that she wrote on Collective Evolution about how breast implants are the ticking time bomb, or one of them anyway. And I refer to them as arsonists. They're the little, the little shitheads in your body that are starting fires and causing inflammation all over your body. But all that we are being told by most doctors and even the most well-intended functional medicine experts is, oh, looks like you're inflamed. Here are some pills to reduce your inflammation. But meanwhile, the arsonists that are starting the fires and causing inflammation are still inside of you. So it is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when your breast implants cause some kind of a damage to you, right? And not everybody is well-intended and well-connected to their body to know that this symptom equals this, or this symptom is equal to this. I used to think, Mom, my boobs are fine. When Anna sent me that article, they feel fine. But yet I had all kinds of symptoms. And if you look at that list of breast implant illness symptoms, I looked at that and I'm like, oh, I'm the poster woman for that. How could I have been so naive? And then I was mad at myself, and I went through the journey of shame and guilt and frustration. And then you come out the other side if you do the real hard work on that, which is a big part of this journey too. So when Anna sent that article to me, I was in denial for a couple of years. And then I started to really come to the terms with, oh my God, this might be the issue. And then I went through, got my explant. I'll spare you all the details because you guys will be able to find the place to find all the details later. But then I did a summit called the Non-Toxic Beauty Summit that over 33,000 people from all around the world attended. That's when I discovered the crazy, sad statistic that less than, or only 96% of women, or 96% of women did not think that they were beautiful, which means that less than 4% of women actually would claim their crown of beauty and say, no matter what anybody else thinks, I believe I'm beautiful. So girlfriends, beyond even explant, we have a lot of work to do, and it is heart work. So we're going to talk about some of these things today. This is not as much about the heart work, but I'm going to give you guys some resources so you can do the heart work. But the rest of it that today we're going to talk about is how to help you prepare, how to help you post, and then also what you can do to prepare your liver, your insides, and detox afterwards. So we're going to cover a lot of ground today. So Anna, she's also the one that had introduced me to Iconic, David Icke and his company. And I did an 11-part series called Dying to be Beautiful. But if you've never checked that out, you can go to iconic.com, ICKONIC.com, and you can get a series for free. You can watch the whole thing for free if you like for 7 days. Beyond the 7-day free trial, then you pay, I think it's like what, $15 a month or something, Anna?
I think so. I think it's £13.99. So whatever that is in dollars. Yeah.
Yeah. Less than $20. And I think it's way better than Netflix or anything else, because you get to watch things like The Root Cause, which is all about oral infections, which is a good 75% of our disease today. So this is, it's so much deeper than the breast implants. They have been poisoning us from all angles for a very, very long time. So we have solutions for that too. So if you're like, oh my God, Diane, you're talking about teeth too. Well, Anna and I are going to talk about how to cover a lot of ground, even beyond the breast implants, without you guys having to go too far into the weeds. So Anna, introduce yourself. I'm sorry. I explanted 5/30 of 2019, and I had 500 cc's. I had them removed. I had a lift. And at the time I had fat transfer done, but I would not recommend doing that again. I lost I would say 60 to 70% of my fat. And it took a lot of work for me to reduce the seromas, because I had them all over my breasts. I did a lot of work on stem cell with PRP, with ozone to reduce them. And I know that a lot of women are not going to want to spend that kind of money and do that kind of work. So I do recommend, if you're going to do fat transfer, give it a year after you explant. So that's what I did. So Anna, introduce yourself.
So I'm originally from Australia. I was someone that was very ill all of my life from a young age, and things progressively got worse. And then I moved to England when I was 26, lived there for 16 years, moved to Costa Rica last November. And in the time I was in England, I wrote a book, which is how you and I met, Diane. I wrote for Collective Evolution about many different subjects, highlighting, I guess, issues in the world and things wrong with Big Pharma. And yeah, I think I've done, recently a film of mine is coming out with Iconic as well, on a subject that's quite important to me, which is about the fact that so many people have weakened diaphragms, which affect every single organ and system in your body. And yeah, that's probably it in a very short nutshell, really.
Yeah, very short nutshell. And Anna's covered a lot of ground to help a lot of people. So we have both collectively been through a lot of a journey, which sounds like many of you are embarking on. Because I was just looking at some of the other women's journeys on where you are. And it looks like, and I'll just read these out loud for you too, Anna, is that Julie says, I still have mine, 2 sets over 14 years, no issues ever, but I'm waiting after hearing all your podcasts. Sorry, Julie. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, honey. And I don't know if you guys yet have my book, Killer Breasts, but this is something that I am going to be giving away to all of you who are here today. So it's only for today, and it's only for you guys. So this is your first gift. If you go to killerbreastsbook.com, you get this book for free today. So I'm really excited to gift this to you. Yeah. It's great. I keep seeing these books in random places, in doctors' offices, and doctors taking pictures of it. Yeah, it's really good. Dr. Rankin is one of the famous physicians, doctors, surgeons in Florida, and he does really good work, and he's got a really good heart. And he, posted and tagged me in this book and said, I am reading so much about how much work that you women do and that you need to do beyond just getting your implants out. So that was really great. And then my surgeon, Dr. Bradley Strawn, has these books in his reception area. So maybe you're somebody who's tuning in from going to see Dr. Strawn in Orange County, which is where I used to live before I moved to Sedona 2 years ago, and love it here. You guys can see, I don't know if you guys have been to Sedona.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Anna was just here 2 weeks ago, and that's Thunder Mountain. You can't really see it there, but earlier today, a little bobcat walked past my window, and I was like,
oh, wow.
I love Sedona.
That's amazing.
Only 10,000 people live here, so it's good. So Anna and I both live off-grid from being in big cities for a while. which is where a lot of these women are going to get explant. Also another doctor, and maybe you guys were referred here as well, from a doctor in Scottsdale. And I've been doing a lot of work with him lately. He's somebody that is doing explant and lift for like $7,500.
Oh, wow. That's so good.
I know. And the thing about the cost of these surgeries is, you guys, I want to talk about some myths today, because I continue to work with thousands of women from all around the world and have for the last 3 years in this. And what I've seen is women thinking that the only doctors that they should go to are like the top 5 that you hear, like Jay Chun and of course, what's that?
Dr. Fang.
Yeah, Dr. Lu Jianfeng. Or let's see who else is on the top. I mean, Dr. Rankin is great, but he's got a 1.5 year waiting list. My doctor, Dr. Strawn, was a year await. So it could be very, very tedious. And women, there's some weird myths. There's some weird broken belief that women think the longer I wait, the more I spend, the better the surgeon and the better the results. And we're here to tell you,
not true.
Nothing farther from the truth. So yes, work with a doctor who believes in breast implant illness. Yes, work with a doctor who is doing more explanting than implanting. Yes, work with a doctor that I talk about in my book that has 3 things: experience, education, and empathy. Empathy is something majorly missing from a lot of these surgeons. They're like, yeah, well, or a lot of the ones that some women are going to see, and they're essentially being emotionally abused by their doctors. There's no empathy there. If your doctor does not have a heart, do not let him remove the things that are over yours, okay, that are blocking your heart. So that's what I talk a lot about this in my book, Killer Breast Book, which is, again, my gift to you guys for free today, killerbreastbook.com. I'm only giving it away if you guys promise to use it, okay? So don't go get it for free unless you plan to use it to set you free, all right? So Dr. Bradley Becker is a doctor surgeon here in Scottsdale, a couple hours from me, and we are partnering together. So he has books in his reception area, and that's what I'm saying. His is only $7,500, and a lot of women are spending $17,500 for just an explant lift. I just talked one of my clients off the ledge who was going to go pay $17,500, and I go, no, hold on. Bigger is not better. And we've learned that from breast implants, right? So I said, there's another one in Scottsdale that you might want to check on too, and check it out. She's like, are you kidding me? He's $10,000. Not cheaper, because I don't like that word, because that lowers the value, but it's less outflow, but he does a great job. So I've seen a lot of these surgeons that don't do as good of a job as somebody who paid, $10,000 less. So that's a huge myth. Anything to add to that part, Anna?
I spent $12,000 on mine in Costa Rica, so that price is amazing.
Yeah, right. And that was in US dollars, right? 12,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's really, really. Tell us your experience that you had there.
It was really good, I must say. I mean, I've got no complaints really. The only thing I didn't like was, and it's nothing to do with the surgery, it was the after medication. I had to get a blood thinning injection like every day, and I hated them because I just knew there would have been some other herb or something I could take to keep my blood from clotting. But yeah, they were like, you have to have it. And that's what annoys me, is this sort of, I know it was in their mind, it was a way of saving me from the risk of blood clots. But yeah, I just kept thinking, is this really necessary? But
right.
I love Dr. Ursula's really nice. He really cares about women, and he sees that there is a real thing such as breast implant illness. I still think he does put implants in, and he did say to me he doesn't think they make everyone sick, but he certainly warns them of the risks. Yeah. So that's good. But
yeah,
that's I actually I enjoyed the whole thing, because I had so much fear around it. I actually put it off, as you know, for 5 years. So I wrote this article and was telling everyone about how dangerous they were. And then I kept putting off my own surgery for years because I was so scared about weird things that, well, it's not weird because most people do feel the same way. I was scared about dying under anesthetic or having too much pain. It was mainly those two things. And then after having the experience, like going under with the anesthetic was actually a pleasant experience. When I woke up, I was high as a kite and like smiling and just so happy.
I know.
Yeah, so happy at the nurses, and I couldn't believe it was finished. And then I had
anybody
I
else
remember,
feel like you want to hug everybody after your surgery?
Yeah, I remember like
no boobs.
I was like commenting on someone's eyebrows, because you can see I've got really thin eyebrows, and I plucked them as a teenager so much and now I regret it. And the nurse that was like over my face when I was waking up had lovely eyebrows, and I kept telling her, I love your eyebrows. So yeah. High as a kite. And then one thing that is good about Costa Rica and having surgeries is they recommend that you go and stay in a clinic for 10 days after your surgery. So I was weighted on hand and foot at this clinic in the mountains, recovery center really, where they brought me food 3 times a day. The nurse helped me have a shower, who was just the sweetest lady. It was literally like a holiday. I loved it. It was difficult to go home back to being a mum with my 2 children.
Right.
So yeah, and I found I didn't suffer from that much pain. I mean, I was appreciative of having the morphine pump for the first sort of, 18 hours. And I was a little bit uncomfortable the first night because you have to get used to sleeping on your back. But by day 4, I didn't take any medication at all. I was putting some of the tablets that they gave me in my purse because they wanted me to have them. Sweetheart, I'm on a call. Okay, sorry. These children, I always tell them to leave me alone when I'm on the computer, but they never listen. I'm sorry. But yeah, it was just an amazing experience. I really was actually on a high for days. And even now, if I'm going to sleep and I'm thinking, oh my God, I've had my breast implants removed. Yes, yay. I still smile to myself that it's over and done with, because it was such a big fear of mine. And it just shows you what we do to ourselves when we keep focusing and worrying about something that actually isn't real. It wasn't real for me to be scared about going under, and it wasn't real for me to be scared about the pain, because even if I did have pain, that's what painkillers are for. Mm-hmm. And in those times, use them, you know, and then when you don't use them, you can clean your body up, get the toxins out. Yeah. So I can't. And then I see it online. So many women say the same thing. They had hardly any pain. Obviously, some do experience it. Weird. I think you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I think that the reason why I don't advocate for fat transfer at the same time as your explant is because there's already enough work that your body has to do. That if you add another thing to do with it, it just compounds it. And for me, I went into it more healthy and more prepared and strong than the average person. I mean, I'm a functional medicine practitioner. I am a functional diagnostic nutrition coach. I'm a holistic health coach. I help people with, their broken beliefs and their trapped traumas and hidden hurts. And I've got all kinds of hacks that you can see right behind me and all around my house, and, to help me with detox and drainage. And I'm somebody who's been teaching this for 10 years. And so here I am, more prepared than the average person, highly recommending against doing fat transfer the first surgery and doing it later, because I was in a great deal of pain. It was the worst pain I've ever felt. And it wasn't because of the explant. It was because of the fat transfer and all of the things that I had poked and prodded around me. Am I happy with my body? Yes. Now I am. Yeah, sure. But I would recommend doing it in 2 parts. And so that's what I talk about in my program too. So let's get into some of these things that I have recommendations for you guys around today. And I can help with some of these questions on the side, and Anna can contribute. I'm seeing that a lot of you in here, and I'm commenting on this side too. So you guys asked about what the link is to get the free book. Again, the free book plus over $500 in bonuses is on killerbreastsbook.com. Killer breasts, as in 2 of them, book.com. And when you go on there and then you put in your information, it'll take you to go to Amazon to get it for free in Kindle form. And once you get that for free, then you go back to that, my website, killerbreastsbook.com, and you get all these freebies. And then there's a ton of really amazing ones. And it also creates and puts you into a sequence of emails that I'll be sending you to support you along the journey to consume the book. These are what I recommend that you really consider as an inner size, like not an exercise, but an inner size. Because to me, exercise sounds like exorcism, but you're kind of doing an exorcism when you have your breast implants out. So it says, hey, go to chapter 1, and I really want you to focus on this. So it'll walk you through a beautiful flow with me in the book, because I put a lot of heart into that book. So and some of you are saying that you spent $12,000. Some of you have said that you're in BC, Canada. And oh, great, David. I'm so glad that you said that has all 3 qualities mentioned. I'm guessing that you're not David. I'm guessing that you probably have a different name. So, but I'm just going to say David now because that's what it says on here. Mine was 8790 in San Francisco. That's not too bad for the Bay Area. And then my pathology showed 3 different bacteria in my capsules and implants. Okay, Sarah, now you're speaking the language that we're going to get into today. Considering Explant within a year after COVID, Kay says, I tried getting the free book on Amazon, but I can't seem to find the right link. I think I just answered that, killerbreastbook.com, right below that comment. I do have a client right now in Australia, which is why I'm advocating for you guys to, hi, Catalina. Okay, David, Catalina's wife. I figured whenever I see that when it's a woman's event. So right now I have a client in Australia. She's distraught because, and speaking to your point earlier, Anna, Australia is absolutely going apeshit right now. And they have canceled all cosmetic surgeries for the rest of the year. So even though this is an explant to help her save her own life because she feels like she's going to die, they are having to push out her surgery indefinitely until 2022. Which means that we don't have control as much as we used to. Things are going to start changing a lot. So she's absolutely distraught. She was all excited to get them out this month, and now she can't. So it means she's going to have to feel like crap for 3 more months. So you guys, if you're thinking about this, I recommend that you put this to the top of your list and starting to get things in order, which is what Anna and I want to help you with today. And no more excuses. Anna just said to herself, I put it off for a couple of years because of my own fears. 98% of the thoughts that we think, 5 years, 98% of the thoughts that we think never happen. And 90% of our thoughts are broken beliefs that continue to repeat and never happen, but keep us trapped, sick, stuck, suffering with symptoms. So know that you are the only person standing in your way from claiming your cleanse, heal, ignite journey to ignite your life into the purpose and the passion and the whatever it is that you guys have planned that you have for yourself and the rest of your life. So don't delay on this because doctors are getting more and more busy. If you guys need any assistance with any kind of doctors in Mexico, South Mexico, or North Mexico, I work at a clinic in Tijuana, which is what Anna was mentioning. A lot of these treatment protocols, those are the things that we're doing with patients down there to help them before and after their explant, which is like hyperbaric and IVs and ozone if you need it, PRP. There's a lot of things going on down there at the clinic. So just let me know because I've got reputable doctors down there in Tijuana that I could refer you to and then help you side by side when you go down there. And it's not super scary. You fly into San Diego, the clinic picks you up, takes you across the border, but that's side note. So let's get into it today. The first thing I want you guys to understand, because some of you are also saying that you are 5 years. Who was this? I wanted to just exactly to this point. Karen Chapman says, I was deathly ill. I explanted 5 years ago. A lot of toxins, metals, and mold in my body, and you need advice on detoxing. So this is exactly why we're doing this webinar, because I guess the most frustrating thing for me is when I hear people say, who's the doctor that you use? And then it stops there. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that is frustrating and disheartening for me to see someone say, who's the doctor that you use or recommend? But then there isn't a second question to that. Why is that so frustrating for me? And why is that something that Anna is saying this to? I'm just wondering in the chat, if you guys can give us your feedback on why you think that that's frustrating. And then I'll keep going on. Any of you out there already have my book. Any of you out there have already, some of you have listened to my podcasts, but in the book, I talk about 8 myths in the breast implant illness world. And one of them is the one that I'm alluding to right now. And it's what I call the breast implant illness myth. And Jennifer says, exactly, Jennifer, Explant only removes the source. There is much detoxing and internal healing needed for total health. You totally nailed it, girlfriend.
Yep.
And I am going to, at some point very soon, start sharing my screen so that you guys can see what I'm talking about, because all of the toxins that are around us right now, and I mean, we already, women with breast implants, we have these arsonists, and then now we have the COVID arsonist that's starting more fires of inflammation, whether it's somebody who has gotten the jab, or if we're around people who have been vaccinated and are experiencing some of the offset of that. Wherever you guys are, whatever your beliefs are on this, it is an additional toxin that our body now needs to do something with. So we're surrounded by toxins more than we ever have. And today I want to talk about, that's the myth, Jennifer, right there. You said the myth. The myth is that I'm going to remove all my breast implants and all of my symptoms are going to go away. Now, what we know about it is that 70% of symptoms tend to resolve post-explant. So what about the other 30%? Sometimes the 70%, they resolve after explant, and they're surveying these women, but it's only within a month or so after their explant, and they're still high on drugs like Anna was just talking about. They still have the positive side effects of taking antibiotics. Your body gets sprayed with all kinds of antibiotics in your chest cavity, and we take them orally before and after. So your body's feeling pretty good. Those antibiotics work to reduce inflammation, to reduce the amount of bugs in your body that spit out inflammation. And so we're feeling pretty good for a while. And then a couple months goes by and things start coming back, and women get really angry. They're like, I knew it. I was so scared to remove my breast implants because I was worried that it wouldn't resolve my symptoms. And now look, they're back. And now she's mad at herself. Now she's more flat than before. And now she's wondering why she spent 10 to 20 grand to get them out. That's why we're doing this webinar today.
I didn't even think about antibiotics used during surgery.
Yeah.
I knew they were in the pump that I had, and then they tried to give them to me orally, but I didn't. I took chlorine dioxide instead. But yeah, I didn't know they actually like put it inside your body when they did it. But
they do. They have to, because they have to keep it really clean. So what they do, if you guys look at, if you're asking for it, which I talk about this with every client in my book and my programs, get your surgery, your post-op report, and always get a feedback of what the pathology is inside of the capsules. Because who was it earlier? I think it was Karen that had said something. I'm sorry if I'm getting your name wrong, but I can't scroll all the way up. Somebody said they had 3 pathogens. Pathogen means bugs like candida, bacteria, viruses, and funguses, right? So that's what I mean by pathogens. And these bugs, they release so many toxins in our bodies. So we go on these detoxes, but we don't think about the bugs that are also the arsonists that release the toxins, right? So I always think about making this as comprehensive as possible. And Anna today and I are going to talk to each one of you in terms of what kind of information and solutions that you can handle. There's like here's the one thing I want you to do. Then here's like a really good bundle that is a good idea to cover a lot of ground with respect to healing the tissues and detoxing your body, and then having the knowledge. And then there's the one that's like, hey, Diane, I'm overwhelmed. I can't even think straight. Diane, can you just help me? I want to work one-on-one with you. So you guys get to decide what you want to do wherever. We're just here to offer support. Okay. So some people are saying, no, those antibiotics may be nauseous, and they do for a lot of people, Sarah. Antibiotic resistance, according to the work of Anthony Wakefield, will be one of the number one reasons for the cause of death in the next 10 years. I'll say that again. Antibiotic resistance will be one of the number one causes of death in the next 10 years. Because our bugs get smart, because we take so many antibiotics, we drink them and eat them. I don't want to go too sidetracked, but these are really important to all consider. And Catalina says, I'm 2 years explant, November 30th, and the detox waves can be challenging in my marriage as a mother, daughter, and friend toxic overload. Okay, yes. Yeah. There's another myth right there. There's another myth. Oh, you're just going through some, detox waves. You guys, after explant, it shouldn't be that miserable. My role and goal is to make beyond explant much easier. Because one of the lies that is out there, and I don't believe people are intentionally lying to you, it's just what the myths are, right? And I do not believe it. I don't want to accept it for any of you. I want you to feel good as soon as possible. I felt good 6 weeks after I climbed a mountain, to the top of Mount Baldy in LA. And people are like, how'd you do that? I'm like, because I have the formula that I'm teaching you guys to get better fast. So if you're not better, my rule is that if you don't feel better within 3 months after explant, there's something deeper that your body is trying to communicate. Okay. And that could be shit. Here's what it stands for. The reason you feel like shit is because of one of these 4 things or a combination of all of them. Stress, an inability to handle it, stress overload, and that could be physical, emotional, or chemical, right? Stress of all kinds. Emotional does not get considered a lot. Hormonal imbalances or deficiencies, or your body can't even absorb the hormones that you're taking if you're taking them exogenously. Infections, like those bugs I talked about, and then toxins. Shit. Mm-hmm. Why am I feeling like shit? Well, is it this or this or this or this? It's always all 4. So people think, what's the one problem? I'm just going to remove my breast implants and I'm done. No. That's part of it, right? So that's part of it. So I always want to help you guys manage your expectations of what post explant looks like. And you said 2 years, you should be feeling better by now. My goal is to get you guys better within 3 months, no longer. Although it does take a good 1 to 2 years to really clear the stuff out on a consistent basis. Yeah, I know. I said 1 to 2 years. What, if you just explant and do nothing, then you're not living at your optimal. You're still living at best 70% of what you could. So if you're wondering what that other 30% is, Anna and I have solutions for you that we're going to talk about at the very end today. Anna, anything that you wanted to add to that part?
It just all completely resonates with me. Yeah. And I've spent a lot of money on many different supplements, but I should have gotten yours, because when I had a look at them. Okay.
Oh, there's the new cat.
Kid. Yes.
No, it's okay. I'll answer Karen's question. It's a great question.
Sorry, guys.
I have MTHFR.
I'm talking.
I have MTHFR because it's part of why I'm recovering slowly. Okay.
Yes, recording.
Karen, that is another myth. And I talked about this in my book. So another myth out there is, because I have it too, Karen. I am double homozygous, which means that I got 1 MTHFR SNP from my dad and 1 MTHFR SNP from my mom, and I'm double screwed, right? So, it doesn't mean that you suck at detox. It just means that your body needs some extra support customized to that SNP, which stands for single nucleopolymorphism. And what that means is that your body just needs a little bit of extra completion. Like, do not ever take folic acid ever if you have MTHFR, especially if you're pregnant. Your child could be a higher risk of having neural tube defects. So MTHFR means that you need a methyl donor in order to break down folic acid into methylfolate. So just instead of having an extra step needed, take methylfolate. You want to see methylfolate, not folic acid. So doctors still don't even get that in Western medicine. They're just now starting to test if you have MTHFR or not. But then their next answer is, well, you suck at detoxing. You need to take this. And they give you a drug. And it's like, okay, that's really all that you got from me in that 7-minute consultation. And you're going to tell me that nothing's wrong with my breast implants and they're not causing me disease. These are the people that you need to fire and work with people who are listening to you with education, experience, and empathy. So that is another myth. And I'm glad that you brought that up, Karen. It does make it more challenging. But I also want to say this, and in my book, I talk about this, and in my program, I talk about this. And one of another thing we're going to talk about today is the 5 Ds of detox. Do not go deep into detox if you don't have focus on a daily basis on drainage pathways. So Judith is a rock star. She is currently in my Explant detox program. And she said, hey, Diane, I gave Dr. Rankin your book, pre-op November 8th. Woo, woo, Judith! We're so excited for you. Hey, you got to push forward, didn't you? Because you were talking about January. I thought you said January. So you got it in less than a month. That is awesome. And Judith is somebody who came to me and I'm like, girl, she was doing okay, here we go. The air quotes, all the things, right? But then she still had breast implants. And that's why she came to us, because she's like, I'm doing all these things to help drain my body, but then that was the final thing. So I have really high hopes for you, Judith, that your body is really prepared for the surgery because of all of this work that we've been doing in the Explant Detox work with you. So thank you for giving him my book. That's awesome. I didn't know it was you. I thought it was his explant liaison, D. Hicks. Maybe it was both of you guys. That's so cool. So, and Sarah says, I've heard it takes 1 month for every year you've had the implants detox. Yeah, I was the one who started really putting that on the map, that formula. And it's really general, Sarah. But my goal is to make it better, because if you've had implants for 10, how long did you have yours, Anna? Oh, I just hit ask to unmute because yours was on mute.
It was 14 years, which I can't believe. It just sounds so bad when I say it out loud.
Yeah, right. And I had 10. Sarah has had it 25 years. So it's okay. Some women have had these things in for 35 years and they're like, I got to take these out. But no doctor told them originally they need to be replaced every 10 years. So it's nuts. And then Judith, the same 30 at the same time, 30 years. So yes, you could do the math. Anna would take 14 months. Sarah would take 25 months. Judith would take 30 months. But here's the thing with what we're talking about here with today, with the continual support that we want to support you with, you will be able to get there faster. Generally, I help my clients get there, meaning they feel like they're back to not normal, because what's normal anymore, right? They feel like they're living their best life. Like they're living with a lot more energy. They might have some still lingering issues because we're living in a toxic world today. So let's face it, you're never going to be perfect. That's setting it for another, what I call booby trap, false expectations and false hope that you will never achieve. But I have amazing energy. It's abundant. I'm helping people. I've got, super clear brain. And some days I'm like, how the heck do I do it? But as I'm healthy, I want to help you guys. So typically you'll get there a third faster, meaning if it takes 3 years, if you don't do anything extra, if you give yourself the extra support that we're going to talk about today, you'll get there a lot faster. But you also have to be consistent. And hold on, let me spin that. You get to be. Have to be sounds like a rule. Get to be sounds like self-care. I get to be consistent. I get to nourish my body. I get to self-love it all the time. So it's a lot about drainage, like Judith, I mentioned earlier. She's a client who came to me. She's already focusing a lot on drainage. What is drainage? You guys are talking about sauna, coffee enema, ionic foot baths, lymphatic drainage support, rebounding. I talk about all this stuff in my book too. Making sure that you're exercising, because that's how you move your lymph. Your lymph is typically underneath your armpits and in between your thighs, where your extremities are moving. So, pumping your lymph is really important. And then another thing that I talk about is every woman, and I mean every woman who explants needs to be on serapeptase and inositol. Those are two things that I'm not going to talk about today. We're going to talk about detox stuff today, but I just wanted to put that out there for you ladies, that don't explant without working on clearing the silicone, which even if you had saline, you have silicone because the shell was silicone. Every woman who explants needs to work on pulling that stuff out of the lymph because it doesn't leave on its own. That checklist is, I'm going to share where that checklist is that you guys could get for free today with what we're going to share. So Sarah says, how soon after surgery for sauna? I would say a month. You could start testing it out and start with like 15 minutes. And you could do 5 on the side, 5 on the other side, 5 on the back, but not yet the front. Just see how your body feels. Like if, you're rotating it, meaning if the bulbs are in front of you, I have a bulb right now in front of me. You guys, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I talk about this, the different kinds of tools that I use, but I have a bulb on my right there. And that helps me with collagen turnover and skin tissue healing all day long in front of my computer. Can you do sauna with implants just to get some sweating for detox? Depends, Julie. I know that that's a controversial topic, but this is one of the ones I get a lot. It really depends. I have a whole module dedicated to this about drainage in my explant solution. So I'm going to talk about that today because these questions, I have 21 modules in the explant solution, all focused each one of these things. And I talk about the different kinds of saunas and the different kinds of implants and the different kind of symptoms that you might have where this is like a gray area, right? So I agree, Anna. I did too. A lot. You want to comment on that? Anna says, I did loads of sauna, went back in England before explant. And
yeah, like 2 or 3 times a week. And even though I love the relaxing effects, I don't think I realized that it's heating. I mean, the body heats up the implants anyway, which is why they degrade. So to actually add more heat to it, looking back, that was bad. It's not a good move.
I tend to agree, especially because I realized that was when I started to feel my symptoms the most too, but it also just so happened to me to be when I got the most Botox I ever got, and I dyed my hair pink. So it's like, I don't know which one of those things was it,
yes.
but you weren't doing as many toxic things like that at the time, were you? When you started doing your sauna, there was nothing else that you changed?
No, I mean, I've always been pretty good with what I put on my hair and try and eat organic, but you know, being in England, so polluted, we live near an airport, so God knows what's in the air there.
Yeah, it's true. I lived near a freeway, less than 500 feet away from a freeway, when I was also very sick, when I was doing, my sauna, and I had Botox and pink hair. And I was like, is it because I live 500 feet from the freeway? And a lot of what happens is we've got cyanide, cadmium. Those are things that petroleum exhaust, and petroleum is a xenoestrogen. So it can be very aggravating to the body. So it's like, which of the things is causing you to feel that way, right? So that's why I like to talk about the many things that are causing you illness, and why we don't just recommend explanting, but also to help you prepare and then to post so that you can get better faster without feeling a lot of these detox waves. I can't stand it. I know when I hear the word detox waves that I know where it's coming from. It's a big myth. It does not have to be that way. And detox doesn't have to come in waves like your period. It should just be a consistent stream. And yes, sometimes your body might tell you, okay, that was too much, but then you could just, all you do is do a little bit less, or you can take things like what we're going to talk about today that help you to bind to these toxins and clear them out of the body. So that's really important. A lot of people don't talk about that. So the 5D formula, and I'll just say it out loud, is we've got to drain first. So focus on your drainage pathways. Like I was just talking about, castor oil packs are another one. If you're like, Diane, what are you talking about? You're talking too fast. You can get something today so you can learn more about this. I'm going to share that with you. Drainage is important, but I see a lot of people start detoxing without drainage first. Because if you start detoxing and they have no exit strategy, where are they going to go? They're going to go back into your brain, cause more brain fog. They're going to go back into your fat cells, cause more fat expansion. They're going to go back into your tissues and then cause a disabling of your body's ability to convert thyroid hormone so that your cells can actually use it. And then you turn up thyroid disease or hormonal issues or whatever. So we want, when you're detoxing, we want these things to have an exit strategy. What point is, having a security guard to come get the bad guy if there's no door to kick them out of, right? That bad guy's just going to shoot the gun everywhere. So we got to get them out of the body. So drainage first, then detox. Your diet, a diet supportive of detox is really, really important. So that's another one. And then detoxing your environment, that you don't have to worry so much about that now. I want you guys to not get overwhelmed, Judith, you're really good on this. Anna wrote a book on this. I wrote a book about this. And I talk a lot about this in the programs too, but toxins are everywhere. So you'll want to slowly, one of the things you guys are going to get today is also this checklist that I created. These are all the toxins in your environment. And this is the checklist that Judith has. And it shows you the categories of where these toxins are. Toxic diet, toxic water, toxic home, toxic kitchen, toxic personal care, toxic female hygiene, toxic beauty and cosmetics, toxic oral care. There's a lot of things. And so that could sound, again, overwhelming, but over time, this is what really support you to stay feeling good after your explant, so that mold and other things don't start causing you more illness after you've worked on wellness. So that's another one. And then the last one is demons. Get those demons be gone, get the demons out of your life. And what I mean is energy suckers, people who are just negative frequencies. They're super fear-based. They're negative. They're sucking the life out of the room and you, and you just feel like, oh God, after I hang out with that person, I'm just drained. Just drained. So a demon detox is really important. Sarah says, yes, sauna made me feel sick before explant. Dr. Jess says avoid sauna with implants. Yep, I tend to agree with Dr. Jess too. And that's why I say it's really like it, but yeah. And I put the little link of the saunas that I do recommend on my link here, the dianekeiser.com/Diane-shop. There's two types of saunas on there. But the one that if you did do it before explant would be a near infrared, and it's the one that I have right behind me. And there's a coupon on my website. I think it's currently for $100 off or something like that. If you click on the link, and it'll send you there. So usually there's also like Thanksgiving specials. And if you're on my email list, which you are, if you have subscribed to the webinar today, then I'm going to be sending out a lot of like Thanksgiving, Black Friday specials and stuff. So if that's something that you want to do, then I would get that. I feel like this compression bra I have to wear is blocking my lymphatic drainage. All right. Also, after the compression bra, I agree. That would happen to me too. These are the bras that I wear now. They're like,
nice.
Yeah, they're like nothing. They're just super thin, really comfortable, no wires. You don't need to wear crazy sports bras that restrict your lymph and that you can't detox. So drainage is also considering the things that block it, like really tight bras or really tight yoga pants or things that just don't allow you to move that freely. Brand, I don't know, it's on Amazon. Actually, the brand is in the Explant solutions. So let's start getting into solutions, speaking of which. Okay, Anna, let's talk about detox and let's talk about some zeolites, because that is something that we have 3 different solutions for you guys today. We're going to talk about cleanse. Anna's going to talk about detox right now, which is different than cleansing. Very important to understand the difference between the two. Cleansing is to prepare, to prepare your body so that you're getting out some of the gunk that's already in there. And it's just kind of cleaning out some of your tissues. But then detox goes into the cells and pulls them out and strips them. So think about it like detox is more exfoliation and cleansing is more like just cleansing on the skin, right? One goes a lot deeper than the other one. So Anna, let's talk about detox first.
So this is a massive passion of mine, because I had poisoning from a jab, and also from being young, I had loads of pharmaceutical medications, non-organic food. We had fluoride treatments twice a year in our teeth, fluoride in the water in Australia. And I also had lead paint exposure when I was about 6. So looking back with my health issues, which were very severe, I put it together, which is why I wrote my book. And it was just a whole lot of toxicity that was too much for my body and brain to handle. And when I had the mercury poisoning from the flu jab, it was really bad. It was debilitating physically and mentally. I was a mess. When I was, 28, things were very, very bad for me. And what helped massively take away a lot of those symptoms was natural cleaned zeolite, which is what we're going to talk about now. So whilst I still have issues, I've always had issues, but I know that taking zeolite 3 times a day is crucial for me, because if I don't, I can see I get very toxic very quickly. And I'm pretty certain I have the double MTHFR thing as well. So I've constantly got to be cautious of toxins. So natural zeolite works like a magnet. It traps and excretes toxins through your sweat and your urine. And there's over 300 PubMed studies showing its positive detoxing effects. The one that we're talking about today, there's actually a special that Diane's got. Normally the bottle is $79.95. It's a nano zeolite, so the particles are so small that you can't see it, but it means it can travel further in your body. And when it's a small particle, it'll be able to get into certain areas of the body, and some think the brain as well. So yeah, it's $50 off, which I think means it comes to about $13.86 for your first bottle. When you use the checkout shopping cart, I think you have to press auto ship, because obviously the company want you to love it and they want you to stay on it. But if you don't feel comfortable with that, just click it and then get your free bottle, and then you can cancel it, and then you can see if you want to go back on it again. So there's no pressure there. But yeah, natural zeolite is, there's not many things on the planet like it. Yes, there are, as you know, other things you can take that help your body detox, this traps so many metals and plastics and, you know, petrol and things that we smell in the environment, that to me, it's one of the most important things you can take every day. And then combined with some other things that help your liver to be stronger. I think that in the bundle that you've got, those things do all that it just means you're getting the cleansing and the detoxing as well. And then your body will be able to rebuild itself and be a lot stronger.
Mm-hmm. Zeolites have helped me with so many people in the work that I've done one-on-one. And Sarah, you were asking me, is it Cyto Detox? No, I love, these two are my favorite ones. The difference is that right now, you know, a lot of people really prefer to have it. If I don't work with them one-on-one, then I'm like, some people are just like, you know what? I will never, ever do a lab with you, Diane. That's fine. Just do this. Like people are like, what's the one thing that I should do? This is the one thing, I think, because everybody needs to clear the majority of toxins that they're not even aware of beyond breast implants. And this is what can expedite it. So it gets people moving and started on something. And I realize that Diane Kaiser loves to dive deep with people, but not everybody likes to dive deep with themselves. And that's okay. And so what I'm doing is I'm trying to support people on their journey where they are and get them, okay, just start moving there. And if you start feeling better, then maybe reach out to me. We can work on some other things, but that's part of the detox journey. And so what's really cool is that Anna's been seeing this help with a lot of people, and people like Sherry Tenpenny, Erin Elizabeth, if you guys know these names. Who else that you know, Anna?
So yeah, Erin Marie, the undercover nurse. She's also been working with this company, and there's another well-known doctor that's about to start promoting it as well. Larry Cook from Stop Mandatory Vaccination.
Right.
Yeah, loads of people have been sharing it because they just hear about it from other people, and then if someone's interested in sharing it, then the company will send them a product to try. And yeah, people tend to feel those results like I did after a short amount of time. It was 2 weeks for me, where I woke up one morning and I literally said, oh my God, my brain fog's gone. And my awful tiredness that I had in my body, because my body used to feel so heavy, all cleared up. And this was 14 years ago when I first came across it. So big fan. And it's safe to give to children as well. And that's really important, because if you're someone that doesn't feel well and then you can piece it all together that it's mostly because of toxins, then it makes sense for children to have it so that they don't run into these problems like what we've had to experience.
Yep. Yeah, there's also, people are asking about spike proteins and everything. This is what I was talking about earlier. You know, what do we do? How do we protect ourselves? And so my answer for so many years has been, we need to address heavy metals, and we really need to address mold, mycotoxins. And these are the things that people have not talked about. And that's what's been so frustrating for me, you know, in the last 5 years, is knowing that these things are out there. But even back then, 5 years ago, when I got heavy metal certified to start running tests on the patients that I was working with, hair tissue mineral analysis, looking at urine analysis, and seeing that people had really high levels of like lead that Anna just mentioned. It takes five generations of children being birthed by mothers, 5 generations to clear lead from the time that great grandma got exposed to that child, assuming no new lead exposure. You guys, that's
scary.
It's a really dense metal. And guess where it has an affinity to live inside of your body? Your bones.
Yep.
And now we're looking. Yeah, go ahead, Anna.
I was going to say, I broke a lot of bones growing up.
Me too.
The first one, really, I didn't know that. The first one was this one. I fractured that. Then I broke this wrist. Whilst the dislocated elbow is not really a break, that was still really bad. And then I cracked my coccyx bone, so my tailbone. And then I fractured my left foot as well. And some people I meet have never broken a single bone. But for me, yes, I was quite a clumsy child, it seemed very easy for me to break a bone, and I didn't know at the time what was wrong, but it would have been the lead. And I also have trouble utilizing oxygen in my body, and the lead does that to red blood cells as well. Plus, I've always had trouble concentrating, and lead is really bad for your concentration and IQ levels as well, because even though I'm not the most thick person on the planet, there's things I read that I can't retain, and I can't grasp a lot of information. Yet my sister and my brother's studying astrophysics. My sister is very smart, went to uni and studied biomed science. My dad's a doctor, my cousins are lawyers, like that. Yeah, so it definitely affects your brain function.
Yeah, you add lead on top of that. Now we also have mercury. And mercury, I had every single molar was a silver filling. I don't know if anybody else listening has had mercury fillings, but every one of my teeth was a mercury filling, and I got them removed the wrong way. The same week I got my breast implants installed when I was 30. Oh joy. Way to screw my body up in 1 week. A lot of what I teach is don't do what I did, do it this way instead, because I learned it. So a lot of my hardships and expenses, very expensive to learn the hard way, I want to impart upon you guys so you don't have to waste that kind of money, and you will then get your health so much faster than I did, because that mercury leaks right into your brain. So there's a way to remove it. The SMART protocol, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but these zeolites are exactly for that purpose, is to go in and start clearing these things. They go into your brain because they're nano, and they can pull the toxins from your brain. Don't get scared by the word nano. There's a light side and a shadow side to, hear me on this, everything. You can always find the silver lining, the light side, just like breast implants. Thank God breast implants taught me what self-love is and what beauty is not. Thank God it taught me to wake up and to learn what detox really is. You guys wouldn't be wondering what detox is unless you had breast implant illness, maybe, some of you. But thank God, now we're learning how to take our health back. What a great way to catalyze your healing journey. Cool, right? So just light and shadow side. So this is the light side of nanotechnology. This is small enough that it can get into your brain and start pulling this junk out so that you get your brain fog gone, anxiety, depression, and a lot of the other things that you might have issues with. And I'm not going to say it like it's a miracle drug, because like I said earlier, and let me just share my screen real quick, because I wanted to show you guys, I was talking about different dimensions, different levels of things, right? So I did want to show you something, and that is the various types of lab testing that is out there. I'm not going to go deep into this. I just want to show you guys a little brief description here. So this was me 6 months post explant lab results. And the improvements that I saw was my ovarian hormones got better. My cortisol was, everything on here should be at 12 o'clock. And Judith knows this because she's been working with us and has done these lab results with us. But everything on here should be at 12 o'clock. I was massively estrogen dominant still after, but you guys should have seen my progesterone before. I was like negative. I was at 6. I was a menopausal woman. And if you don't have progesterone, you're not happy, because progesterone is our antidepressant. It gives us a healthy mood, healthy skin, thyroid balance, and brain clarity. And I had no cortisol back then before my breast implants were removed. It was down here at like 65. And now I had a lot more cortisol. So my body was like, thank God. But again, remember, like I said, it wasn't just removing my breast implants. It was the work that I did before. So, and after. So I prepared, and I'm going to get to that next. This is before my explant. You guys see my estrogen was here, but look at my estrogen. That's where I was before, or my progesterone. It was like gone. Wow. Low progesterone could be PMS, anxiety, low mood, saggy skin, fluid and fat retention, thyroid issues, and brain fog, right? And then look at my cortisol. It was actually negative. It was like negative.
That's bad.
It was terrible. So blood work, you guys, remember I told you the labs, I promised you today. I'm just going to stop sharing so you see my face. Here's what I'm going to promise you. Do not waste any more money or time or energy on any practitioners who are just blood testing you over and over and over and over, and that's all that they're doing. They don't know what they're doing if you're only doing blood. And I say this with a lot of conviction because I want to see you better faster. So blood testing does not look at hormones to look to see what you're actually metabolizing, using, and clearing. All it's looking at is what you're producing at one tiny second snapshot in the day. The lab I just showed you looks at 4 snapshots throughout a 24-hour period. It's really comprehensive, and it looks at all of your hormones, melatonin, and we're looking at neurotransmitters, we're looking at your sleep cycles, we're looking at your cortisol rhythms. It is far more comprehensive. So blood testing, no, we got to cut it off. And if someone's like, oh, let's run an allergy test to see what's going on. Nope. Food sensitivities and allergy sensitivities are far superior, but please save your $500 to $800 on those tests and do first a gastrointestinal function test. Let me show you what that looks like. Because if you heal your leaky gut, then you reduce your food and chemical sensitivities, all right? So this is another one that, I don't even know if, do I have it? Yeah, let me just open up my DI map. Hold on a second, you guys. GI map Kaiser. See if it'll just open up. So what we're looking for on the GI map are things like infections. We're looking at your immune system function. Hey, since you're on here, Judith, is it okay if I shared yours? If not, I can keep looking for mine. Let me know in the chat if you're cool with it. If not, I'll just keep going. I think that you did yours already. GI map, just 1 second. My labs. Okay, look at all these labs I've done over the years, you guys. It's insane.
Wow.
I know. I could show you so much fraud in these labs. It's just doctors who want to put you on hormones.
How much money do you think you would have spent on them?
I've easily spent over $100,000 on.
Oh my God.
Over $100,000 on all the things that I've done, which is why when I work with you guys, oops, that's not the one I wanted to open. When I work with you guys, I want to get you there a lot faster, so you're not having to do the same stuff. I mean, when I knew you, Anna, this is when in 2014, I did that GI panel, and there was all kinds of stuff going on wrong. So I've done a lot of stuff, and I do a lot of these things too out of experimentation, you know, to see if these things would even work, and if I like them, and if I want to run them in my practice for you guys. So I spend a lot of money learning these things so that you don't have to go back and spend them. I might be like, yeah, you know, it didn't even really help me. I didn't get a lot of information from that, so I just won't even do it. I wouldn't recommend it, which is why I got to this point, because I started with a naturopath, and the naturopath is that's where I learned, oh my God, I need to help people, because the naturopath, I said, I would really like to do a food sensitivity test, because I read up on it. This is like 10 years ago. And I said, I want to run an ALCAT. She's like, what's that? I said, the thing that you're saying that you offer in your window here. She's like, oh yeah. So it was like, she didn't even know what it was, but she was saying she offered it. It's really easy to look at a food sensitivity test and go, oh yeah, it looks like you're sensitive to all these foods. Just don't eat them. But you guys, that's the lazy way. What's going on is we can tell by looking at somebody's stool test, which there's 8 eyes on here: inflammation, infection, immune system dysfunction, imbalances, intolerances to food, insufficiencies in bile, hydrochloric acid, enzymes. And we can see what's going on. I could look at my panel right now and go, dang, I still have a leaky gut. I can see that I still have some autoimmune triggers here. No wonder why I had autoimmune disease. Auto-opportunistic, these are not good ever to have in red. I had high levels of those. I still have a little bit of candida, but it's gotten so much better since I've worked on detox and healing my gut after explant. And then look at this immune system right here. You guys may have heard me talk about this in my podcast. Secretory IgA is the gold standard to test to see your immune function. The goal here is 1,500. This range between 500 and 2,000 essentially. It's a wide range, but optimal is 1,500 or 1,200. I was at 103.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. So my gut has been trying to fight breast implants and Botox and infections and probably lead, like you, Anna, and mercury fillings my whole life. So my immune system was like, I'm super tired. So if the Western medicine system saw this and knew what this was, they'd say, you have a poor functioning immune system. You need to get the vaccine. But what I'd say is if I got the vaccine, the chemicals in the vaccine, my body would freak out to, and I'd probably have no defense. Right.
Yep.
So yeah. So this is why I like to look deeper with you guys, but I just wanted to show you that so that you can get an understanding for what not to spend money on. I say that there are 2 tests, which are, Judith is on here still. Those 2 I just showed you are the best to start with. Anybody who keeps saying blood, more blood, food sensitivity, food allergies, it's a waste of your time until you can check the status of your gut. And so that's the third way to work with me to get support, is to go deeper with labs. Reach out to me at support Diane Kaiser if that's something that you want to do, or you can go to explantdetox.com and get an idea for what I do and how I customize these things. Let me talk about the middle thing. The middle thing, and I'll share my screen one more time and I'll get into some questions here. The middle thing is something that I want to talk about before explant, before your surgery, and or after, and or any time. So if you go to my website, dianekaiser.com, and you click on more.
Beautiful. Oh, I love that photo. Wow.
Oh, thanks. That was in
both of them are gorgeous.
Thank you, love. So on here, if you go to my Chi supplement store, there's 2 things that are part of the Cleanse Heal journey. The Warrior Cleanse Kit is absolutely amazing. It's got 28 different meals inside of it, and they're essentially shakes. It tastes kind of like Fruit Loops. You just add some nut milk or whatever to it, shake it up, and you're on the go and you're done. And this has helped a lot of my clients lose like 15 pounds in a month. And these are women who've never even had breast implants, but this is just a really amazing supplement. It's keto approved. It's keto if you're on a keto diet, and it's very simple. And it gives you a lot of the key nutrients that your liver needs to cleanse, gives you amino acids that you need, enzymes that you need, and proteins to start healing your tissues. So what I tell my explant clients, no matter where you are, but especially before surgery, it says 14 days, but that means if you're doing 2 shakes a day, you can replace lunch and dinner and just have a breakfast with it. Or if you're having 2 meals a day, you just have these 2. But I'd say maybe do like a shake and a bone broth or something like that for 2 meals a day. You could spread this out and have 1 shake every day for 28 days. So here's what you can do before explant. To get your liver ready, do this for dinner 14 days before your explant. There's nothing in here that's going to mess up with your surgery. Then you do 14 days of that shake after your explant. It's a lot easier anyway for you or your caregivers. All you have to do is, you don't have to lift your arm after your surgery. You can just shake up because it comes with a shaker cup. Just add some milk, shake it, drink it. It's amazing. It's truly amazing because you can't start detoxing your body, really do a deep dive detox until about a month after your surgery anyway. So this right now, what I wanted to give you guys is if you wanted to get this now, I'm going to give you a huge gift. Let me show you one more thing. So that's the cleanse part. And I talked about the detox part. And here's the last thing I want to talk about. This Shake It Girl is collagen. I don't know if you guys know anything about collagen, but if you're taking like most collagens out there are one type of collagen. There's 3 types. There's a collagen that supports your joints and your tissues. There's collagen that supports your muscles and your growth of your muscles, toning your muscles, helping you burn fat while you sit down because you have more tonality. And then there's collagen that supports your skin and hair and nail health. Number 1 complaint I get after surgery is women going, my hair is falling out. What the hell's going on? We need collagen in our life because the number 1 destruction of collagen, other than breast implants, is glyphosate. And that's in GMOs, processed food. Glyphosate destroys your collagen and makes you age faster. So right now, what I did for you guys specifically, the collagen is usually $70. It's only $51. Get it now. We're almost out, right? No coupon needed there. With the liver. So that's the heal. So that's the heal part of your journey, right? And if you guys are like, what are you talking about? I want to learn more about this. You can go to my Instagram, which is Diane Kaiser, and you can see the image I just posted on this, which is a lot of infographics and information about why collagen is so important. So that's the heal part. You heal your gut within. That starts to heal your gut. That collagen, you won't have as much leaky gut. You won't have as many allergies, food sensitivities, chemical sensitivities, etc. Right? So we can calm that down, heal the gut. And then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, why is my hair growing so thick? And why does my skin look better? And my turkey neck's going down. All the things that I can say after experience, right? So grab one of those, grab a Warrior Cleanse Kit. Are you guys ready? Coupon code $30 off of a $297 cleanse kit. $30 off Explant Warrior 30. You're going to get that kit for $197. So if you grab the Warrior Cleanse Kit, and even if you're somebody who's 5 years beyond Explant, this is still something that helps you cleanse. It helps you restore your liver. If you're not living your diet right now, we are just bombarded with toxins. So if you grab this for $197, if you grab the collagen for $51, and if you get that $13 heavy metal zeolite detox, all of those things are under $297. Here's my gift to you guys today. Another gift. If you guys get all three of those, then you know the Explant solution that you may have heard me talk about, explantsolution.com. It's actually on here too, but I'll just go straight to this because it's a lot easier. The forwarding thing is weird. Here we go. Overcoming Breast Implant Illness. Those are both shortcuts to it, but I'm just going to take you there. If you guys get all three of those, the collagen, the Warrior Cleanse Kit, that's how I'll know it's coming from you is if you use that code Explant Warrior 30, you get $30 off. You get those two things and the zeolites, all under $300. I'm going to give you my program that's worth $300. How freaking cool is that? I've never given this away. So in this program, you get all of these things here, down here, the modules, what's covered in this program. You guys were asking me about doctors and different things about drainage and what changes, the emotional changes, how to adjust some of the infections. A lot of the stuff is talked about in here. So this is pre and post support. So again, if you guys get all three of those things that are all valued under $297, all that would cost you less than $297, they're all valued over $450, and you're going to get them for $200 and something. I'm going to give you this program. So this is what I meant by I'm giving you, actually, technically I'm giving away over $1,000 today, but I want to help you guys. And I know we're in COVID freaking crisis. So people are like, I need help and I don't have a lot of money, especially when I'm spending a lot of money on Explant, right? I saved $5,000 working with my insurance in the way that I'm going to teach you in this program if you haven't yet got your Explant. If you're somebody who has got your Explant and you're like, I need help detoxing, and you're like, I just want the one thing, here's the one thing. And I put that link, and that's the one thing that Anna was talking about earlier. So cleansing, healing, and detoxing is what we're talking about today. And that link, again, I'll put for you guys on here so that you can see that, where you can get your zeolites for, I think it's like $13.86 or something like that. It's like, let me scroll down. It was a 1383. So let me put that right here. Boom. Is there, oh yeah, there's a way for me. Yeah. Anna says, is there a way for me to do this test from Costa Rica? Yeah, I have clients in Canada, Mexico, Costa Rica, Australia, all currently right now. Actually, nobody's
amazing.
Yeah, but
I'm going to do those for sure.
Let's do it, girl.
Yeah.
And then Julie says, I want to work with you and get those tests. My daughter needs us to. Julie, oh my God, Julie. Guys, do you know how much work I'm doing with kids right now? This is, again, it's not just breast implants, right? And so what I do, Julie, is I do support the children of the women that reach out to me. I don't advertise it because if you guys saw all the things that I do and all the hacks that I wear, you would get stressed out just listening to it. So just know that there's a lot that I can do. I mean, Anna and I are helping people with the blockchain too. If you guys are like, where do I invest my money? That's a whole nother topic. That's a whole nother webinar we're probably going to do the next 2 weeks, but off topic, but super on topic, because the more money that you have, the more that you can afford for your health, right? Wealth equals health. So we're wearing a lot of hats in these spheres. So if you guys are wondering, just reach out, support@dianekaiser.com, and you can email me. Or an even better way is just to go to dianekaiser.com/call, CALL, and just put your information in and then schedule an appointment with me personally. And I do 30-minute complimentary consultations to talk about what's the best way to approach where you want to go based on the challenges that you have, because there's all kinds of different solutions and I just want to customize it to you. Any other questions over here? Anna, did you want to add anything into the zeolite factor there that we were just talking about?
Just give it a try. That's all I can say, basically. Just see how it goes for you. And it's something, even if you didn't feel a miraculous difference, zeolite always works in your body. It can't just sit there and do nothing. it has a natural affinity to attract itself to toxins. So it will be doing something, even if you don't feel like the massive difference I did within 2 weeks. Some people notice a difference straight away, though, where they have better sleep, better mood. With children, they can have better digestion quite quickly. Anyone that's got a child with autism, I highly recommend trying this as well, because we've had people whose children have started to have eye contact, better behavior, all these things that, make a big difference to families with children that suffer from autism.
Yeah. Autism is largely caused by toxicity combined with EMFs, combined with retroviruses. And these retroviruses are installed, note the word, installed in all of us from the moment that we were born. We get the MMR, and then we go for other things like the HPV or whatever other things that we get. I've been traveling the world. I've been to over 27 countries. I've lived in 3 of them. And whenever you go to another country, they're like, you have to get your vaccines. And nobody has taught us how to prepare for the vaccine or how to clean it out after. Although right now, what the standard definition of vaccine is not what the COVID-19 vaccine is. It's a completely different thing. So people ask, can you detox from the vaccine? Well, if you've already gotten it, we can do our best. So even for those of you who are on this call today, if the people around you, like your spouse, your children, your grandparents, your parents have gotten the vaccine, or you're around people that have, this is your best bet. This is your best bet. If it's just one thing, right? Just one thing, get them some of this, because it will help them to clear as much as they can nanoparticles, because it's nanotechnology, specifically graphene oxide, which is one of the known chemicals, toxic ingredients in these air quotes vaccines. So get one for yourself, get one for your child, get one for your parents. It doesn't matter at this point. The number one solution is we got to keep our environment as clear as possible and protect our body from all the toxins that are surrounding us. And what Anna was saying earlier is, remember that parasites are like the bottom feeder in your gut, right? And what they're gobbling up in the fish tank, the bottom feeder, is toxins. In your body. It's the heavy metals. So these parasites are kind of saving your life in a way, some of them, but they go hand in hand. So when you guys take this, watch your stools. Because why, Anna? Well, it will help for the parasites to die, and they'll come through your number 2s. So have fun. Have fun looking. That was when I first met Anna, when I was doing all this detox work, and I still had breast implants, and I was like, what the heck is all this stuff coming out of me? And I realized later it was probably silicone, because they're long strands of things. And it could be that. So you guys, let me start wrapping up and let me answer some of these brief questions. And I did want to honor you, Deborah. I lost my internet, and Big Brother will be, you said you lost your internet and Big Brother? Like you lost your Big Brother to the vaccine or to COVID? What happened? I hope it's not her Big Brother. I had a dream my brother died, and I woke up and he said he was going in for the second vaccine that morning. And that was really scary for me. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was no fun. Okay, Julie, just to add to, I think I answered most of this, but I love doing the sauna, you said, with so many health benefits, but is it really that bad? Same with implants. I'm 53 and live in Michigan. I'm healthy, no issues yet after 14 years. Here's what I'd say too. I have no issues yet. Do you feel like you're like, I am living my best life? I have no symptoms. Like seriously, no symptoms. Are you pooping every day? Like people don't even know what really health is. So if you do have, no symptoms and you have great health, then yay. Like, are you feeling like you have a trim body, you have energy all day, you can build your muscle, which remember muscle is 80% collagen. People have a hard time building muscle. Yeah, I do. Yeah. And they're like on a vegan diet, or there might be like on a carnivore diet, and there's not a lot of collagen in their diet. So I'm like, take this collagen supplement. But yeah, I really do believe that our true natural beauty is best. And so, Julie, you can have beautiful breasts after explant if you're thinking about that. But I would say for you, just for anybody, I'm not a fan of sauna and breast implants at the same time. I'm sorry, sweetheart. There are other things that you can do to drain other than that. And if you get the Warrior Cleanse Kit, remember, like I just showed you guys, for $197 on my website, using the code Explant Warrior 30. And if you get the Shake It Girl collagen for $51, normally $70, that's already discounted. And if you get the zeolites for $13 using the link that I just posted here, and if you're watching the replay, it will be in the email. That's less than $300 worth of products. I'm going to give you my $300 explant solution program. And you could go crazy in there, Julie. What other things can I do to drain my body? How can I prepare for explant? Is this something I really want to do? Even if you don't even have the desire to remove your breast implants, there's so much good stuff in there, even explanting, clearing out your environment. In case says, should we detox and cleanse before explant? Let me let Anna support some of this. Absolutely do a cleanse before. I think that liver cleanse that I created, the Warrior Cleanse Kit, those shakes in there, that is the best way to get your body ready in terms of food. It's really easy. There's a of course, I talk all about how to eat really healthy too in my Explant solution. That's diet, but absolutely the cleanse before is really important. Either 14 days before and 14 days after, or you could do 14 days of 2 shakes instead of 1. But I like to split it up and say 14 days before, take a shake every day, 14 days after, take a shake every day. That's the just minimum, because they say don't start detoxing until a month after. So what would you say about the zeolites, Anna, your experience in using zeolites after your explant, or before too?
I mean, yeah, I took them before. I've been taking them for years, and I felt like it was very important just after I had my explant, because obviously the anesthetic, all the drugs they'd given me, I felt it was very sensible to use that. So, and even the FDA regard them as safe. So they can't make you it can't give you a bad reaction with anything.
Yeah, I agree. I've only seen zeolites really affect people when they have severe mercury toxicity, because they still have mercury fillings. And if I'm working with somebody, sometimes, it's good if they're working with me, because then I can say, all right, let's keep your progress momentum moving forward with the detox. There are other things that you could do to keep the same amount by adding some things instead of just not doing any more detox work. Because people get afraid of detox, they stop doing it.
Yeah.
What I say is, if you have symptoms, let's give your body something else to reduce the symptoms so that you can keep detoxing. So don't let that myth scare you, you guys. Detox waves are a myth. They are a massive myth. We can make it simple and more streamlined and less complex and less painful for you, okay? And get you healed faster. I don't know the answer to that one, the Galaxy S9. Anna, is the code only good for tonight or 24 hours?
No, that should be a code that lasts all the time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
but get them ASAP. Yeah. Here's what I'm doing, you guys. What I'm saying is that if you guys get the Warrior Cleanse Kit for the liver, the Shake It Girl collagen, and the zeolites, if you get all of those by the end of the week, which those coupon codes are all good for, if you get those by the end of the week, then by Monday, we're going to send everybody out that Explant Solution Access Program. So I'm going to give you the end of the week, but sooner that you do this, the better, because I'm going to tell you what your mind does. Oh my God, this makes total sense. Brain fog kicks in, other priorities happen, someone else in your life gets sick, someone else is going to pull at your skirt because they need you. If this is something that you're resonating with now, so that you don't forget, get it now, because we also don't even have that much left. I think we only have like 11 Shake It Girls left and like 8 Warrior Cleanse Kits. So get on it now. And then also, like I said, get that book for free, the Killer Breast book. And if you guys are like, I don't want any of these things, I just want the freebies, go get my book, killerbreastbook.com. And then it'll take you to Amazon, where you can get the Kindle version, and then go back to killerbreastbook.com, put your receipt number in there. And then you get all these extra things for free, like what are the symptoms of breast implant illness, how to talk to your doctor, all kinds of other things that are in that, consumption sequence, so that you can read the book and get the inspiration from me in your email inbox. So last question here, looks like for the shake, Sophia asks for the shake, warrior cleanse, and zeolite. Can my husband take them too, or are they only for a few months? Really good question, Sophia. I know when I made all of these, I was like, they're such pretty labels. And your husband can absolutely take them. Yes. The Warrior Cleanse Kit is universal, even though it's got pink and a beautiful tree, which is my logo on it. Yes, anybody can take the collagen because we're all made of, 70% of our skin is collagen, 80% of our muscles, collagen. So much of our body is collagen. And by the age of 50, we have half of the collagen we did when we were in our teens. So no wonder why we have sagging skin, right? Especially people recovering from surgeries. Collagen is so good for preparing for surgery and after surgery for healing all of those tissues, right? Your breast tissues included. So yes, he can do it even though he doesn't have breasts. So absolutely. And then zeolites. Yeah. Don't take zeolites for food. Why? Because zeolites will pull heavy metals from the cell. That's called detox. That's your exfoliation, right? Not just cleansing the tissues of the organs. This goes into the cells and says, let's get these bad guys out. When they strip the heavy metals, your body then can plug that hole where those heavy metals got into with minerals. 98% of hormones are made from minerals. The reason that your hormone deplete is because you don't have enough minerals in your body because you have too many metals that block the doors for minerals. So that's why you want to take it away from food. So that's really important. And then the Warrior Cleanse Kit is filled with minerals to go back in and add the good stuff back into the cells. And the collagen goes back and heals the tissues that toxins caused your tissues to become leaky from. Because when you have leaky gut, you have leaky brain, you have leaky vagina, and all your tissues are starting to get thinned out, right? So this whole thing that Anna and I are talking about today, again, if you're going to do the one thing, do this. If you're going to do more than one thing, get the cleanse kit, the collagen, and the zeolite detox, and I'll give you the Explant solution for free. You want to get my book, killerbreastbook.com. And if you want the full package, if you want me to tell you exactly what to do, like Judith is doing with me and several other people who I'm working with from around the world, just reach out, support Diane Kaiser if you have a question, or just go to dianekaiser.com/call, and we can do a deep dive with functional medicine lab tests and heal all of this stuff at the same time, reduce the confusion and improve and increase the speed at which you heal. And we can help you with the children as well. I always say, do your spouse too, because you guys pass bugs between the kisses and the sex. So if you have H. pylori and you're clearing H. pylori, but he has H. pylori too, he's giving it right back to you. That's why I say cleanse your environment as well. So I don't want to be too much more complicated, you guys. It could be super simple for whatever your brain can handle today. Just do that, but don't do nothing, especially because today you get this for $13 and change. And then you get the full package of the 3 things I talked about and get a $297 thing for free. I've never done that. Only till the end of day Friday. If you're like, I don't want nothing, killerbreastbook.com. But you guys are asking such great questions. Do we need codes if you're buying everything? Julie, yes, just one code. And that is Explant Warrior 30 for $30 off the Warrior Cleanse Kit. Yeah. And that's going on until the end of the week. Get the collagen. There's no discount code that you need for that, but we're almost out of that one. And then the zeolites is the link that I put in here earlier that I'll put in here one more time. So that's it. So you guys don't need to do anything. Once I see that you guys got the Warrior Cleanse Kit using that coupon code, my assistant will know to send you an email that says, congratulations, you guys, whoever that is of you that are out there, you've earned the Explant solution for complimentary. You can't give that to anybody else, unfortunately, but give them the killerbreastbook.com link today only. It's my birthday month, so I just like to give a lot of things away so that you guys feel a lot of benefit. I really get a lot of joy from being in service to you. Will any of this help detox from Lyme disease? Great question. Anna, do you want to take some of that? An anonymous attendee asked, will any of this help detox from Lyme disease?
We've had people say that it's definitely helped for sure, because again, Lyme is something that is so debilitating, and I guess it causes all of your systems to kind of not function very well. Yeah. And if you're toxic, then it's just going to add to another issue that you've got. So yeah, I know that Dr. Rashid Bhattar basically said that detoxing is the first thing you should do, really, to expect your body to heal, it can't. It's too confusing for it with all the chemicals in your body. So yeah, it would definitely help. Can't say it's going to cure it. You need to do a lot more things to treat Lyme. It's I think it's quite a difficult thing to treat, from what I've heard from people.
It is. It depends on the spectrum, right? Because everything works on a spectrum. But Lyme disease, and I've been certified also by Dr. Klinghardt, as well as several other doctors who pass down this wisdom. I love Klinghardt. And what he talks about, a huge responsibility for really advanced stage chronic disease like Lyme is things like retroviruses. And where do retroviruses come from?
I've got them. Yeah.
From vaccines. So that can be worked with, but just like Anna said, I do believe that what we're talking about today, any of those 3 products I'm talking about today, can support any disease, but we're not saying it can cure it. The way that we can reverse a lot of these things is with additional lab work, because then we could look under the hood and go, all right, what are the root causes? There's not ever one. There's several. Remember shit? Those are the biggest 4 root causes: stress, hormone imbalances, infections, and toxins. So that's how we can go deeper. But today we're mainly talking about toxins. And when we start working with detox and cleansing the body and healing the tissues, then things start to get a little bit better, and then they start to get a lot better. And then maybe we look at labs. So again, wherever you are in your journey, we are here to help. So don't let the words stop today with just you guys getting the zeolites. Pass that on to other people. And if you know doctors who also could use this sort of thing, like surgeons, I think every explant surgeon should be recommending these zeolites to their patients at some point. A lot of them don't want to get into it, so they defer to me. That's fine too. But I also think every surgeon should have my Warrior Cleanse kit in their office to help them repair and also post heal as quickly as possible. So I'm working on all of that. But thank you guys for being here today. I think I answered all of your questions. And then Julie says, can I just say how much I love you and your podcast? Oh, thanks, Julie. I appreciate that. And thank you for being the reflection of yourself through me, and appreciating. Gratitude is so important. It's really important to talk about what we're grateful for and keep that alive, because right now there's a lot of things to not really be grateful for. So yeah. Last question, Karen says, are your cleansing collagen products on a different site from the zeolite? Yes. Go to DianeKaiser.com. I just showed that, Karen. Go to DianeKaiser.com and then click on shop, and then click on She supplement line. And you'll see all of the beautiful ones that are like pink, like this, with trees on it. And then you get the zeolite from the link that we talked about here. And I will be sending an email out. So if you're like, I forgot the links, then you guys can just click the links on the email. Kay says, can we cleanse and detox before explant? Yeah. Kay, I'll be sending out the replay because we talked all about this here. So yes to cleansing before. Zeolites, yes. And I was talking about, yes, you could use zeolites before even your explant. So you could do all 3 of these things before. No matter where you are on your journey, I think all 3 of those things are great. I do the Warrior Cleanse Kit once a quarter. I think every quarter, Ayurvedic. I'm a certified Ayurvedic practitioner as well. Every time we have a new season coming in, and right now we're moving into winter, in order to make room for the new allergens and molds and trees that are falling, I always recommend working with the clearing out your liver from the last season's toxins, and then going back and healing some of that tissue with the collagen, because you have less likelihood of having allergies, and flu season is coming too. So anytime you're working on healing your gut, that liver is part of that. And the collagen, you're also helping to improve your immune system, which right now we're moving into the biggest part of it. I hope that I covered that enough for you guys. If you guys have any questions at all, if you're like, can you repeat that again? We're going to send an email out with the replay. If you need any help with anything else, like I said, lab work or customizing your thyroid or any of these things, we look at all of that stuff in the functional medicine clinic that I operate online. And we ship labs all around the world, so you don't have to go anywhere. You do your stool and your urine at home, you send it back to the lab, we get the results within 4 weeks, and we have your whole protocol and your 3-month healing journey beyond that. But at least you do some of these things before that, because we don't want you to wait any more days. We don't want any more days to go by before you guys start reclaiming your health, whatever that looks like for you. But energy, beauty, immunity is what I'm all about. And I would never bring any guest on or any product to you that doesn't focus on all of those things. And Anna and I have always been at the root of toxins and cleaning those things up for about a decade, if not more. So thank you, Anna. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And apologies for my kids coming in all the time. I'm going to yell at them, I must admit. I will yell at them in a minute.
Hey,
for coming in all the time.
I apologize for my dog.
Oh, so cute. So cute.
I apologize for my crazy
What's he doing?
dog. Just
Dropping his
itching her
face on the
face.
carpet.
Just speaking of allergies, can I get one of those water clones kits? Heal my guts. No, never
thank you,
apologize
Julia,
for being the real you guys. I mean, this is real life. It's not about being perfect. So, we are the human race, and it really is about getting you as much freedom as possible. So, like I said, if you're on my email list in the next 2 weeks, Anna and I are going to do a webinar on cryptocurrency that might freak you out too. But I was freaked out about it for the last 2 years until Anna brought this to me. And I was like, now I'm angry that I didn't do this a year and a half ago, because Anna has seen ridiculous returns. She started with 14,000. Now she has like 200 and something $1,000. That does exist. So that'll work. And Julie just said that she just got all three. So Julie, yay, you were the first winner of the Explant Solution program. So you get a $297 program for free because you are prioritizing your health, and you're going to try these zeolites, which is super great. You guys, we got to get going. But we went a lot longer than expected, but a lot of really good points. And please do look out for the invite for the not Bitcoin, I keep saying that, crypto conversation, because it goes with the boobs. Go look on my webinar page, and also just be mindful to look out for my emails. And you definitely want to make sure that you're RSVP to that one. You can ask questions just like you're asking questions now. If you can prioritize making live, make this a priority. You're going to expedite 1.5 years of guilt that I have felt by not doing this earlier, by doing it now. Greece fell apart because the people had no more access to their money in the banks. Let's not let ourselves be Greece. This is so important. So we'll see you in the next webinar. And if you guys want more like this, I'm talking about a lot of these topics in my VIP group. I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but DianeKaiser.com VIP is where I'm doing a lot of these conversations. Every week I'm doing 2 of these webinars live, so I can support you with whatever topics that you have questions about. So yay, Julie, I'll see you there. Tomorrow we're doing another one in that group on survivalism and preparedness, because we also will be seeing a lot of food supplies shrinking and coming up now. And so I'm talking about that tomorrow, one more of those webinars in the series. So I'll see you guys in that if you're going to join that. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next webinar on cryptocurrency, and what's something that Anna and I are very excited to talk about. But any other questions you guys have, support at Diane Kaiser, otherwise DianeKaiser.com/call, and all the links on how to get the products we talked about today. And I will be sending out an email for that. So Anna, thanks again so much for bringing all this to me and the tribe. As always, you've always brought so much joy.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Have fun with the kids in Costa Rica. Find some sloths and do some for me.
Will do. Bye, honey.
Right.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for tuning in to today's show. If this episode really tugged at your soul and you're ready to have your personal breakthrough, we would love to have a heart-to-heart with you to get you crystal clear on 3 things. What do you want? What's standing in your way? And how do we get you to your soul goal in the fastest time possible? Visit my site, DianeKaiser.com/call to schedule your free 1-hour connection session with one of our warriors to map out exactly how you want to look, feel, and live. We've helped thousands of women warriors just like you all around the world free themselves from the symptoms and suffering they never thought possible. And you just might be our next success story. Talk soon.